It's one of the deadliest terror attacks in Europe and the worst death toll for France since World War II, coming just 10 months after the Charlie Hebdo newsroom attack that left 11 people dead. Paris woke up in shock after the gun and bomb attacks in 6 venues spread across the French capital. Authorities have so far confirmed that 127 people have died, and the government has declared 3 days of mourning. The worst attack, described by witnesses as a bloodbath, happened inside the Bataclan concert hall. Gunmen reportedly opened fire during a rock concert where a U.S. rock group, Eagles of Death Metal, was performing, killing nearly 90 people. Many people in the crowd were reportedly held hostage before armed police stormed the venue. Some survivors reported that 3 of the terrorists detonated suicide belts as the French security forces closed in. More people died in restaurants, and a series of bombs were detonated near the Stade de France, where the national side was playing Germany in an international friendly football match, with President François Hollande watching. The president was whisked away to safety, but the game went on to the 90th minute. In all, French police confirmed that there were 6 separate attacks across Paris within a span of slightly over 2 hours.
It's an act of war committed by a terrorist army, Daesh, an Islamist army against France, against the values we uphold throughout the world, against who we are, a free country which speaks to the whole planet.
The Islamic State militant group ISIS has taken responsibility for the attack against France, ostensibly because she is a member of the coalition waging airstrikes against ISIS fighters in Syria and Iraq.
C'est un acte de guerre.
What happened was an act of war. Faced with war, the country has to take appropriate steps.
Prendre les décisions appropriées.
8 attackers are reported to have been killed, 7 of whom died after they detonated suicide belts, and 1 was shot by police. French authorities, however, fear that more attackers could still be at large. President Hollande has declared a national state of emergency, saying, and I quote, "We want to make sure that no one can return to carry out such acts, and at the same time that those who have carried out these crimes be apprehended before trying to leave the country." End of quote. In a televised address to his nation after holding an emergency security meeting with military chiefs and ministers, Hollande said that they have, quote-unquote, taken the decision to mobilize all possible forces in order to neutralize the terrorists. Paris is awash with security personnel, with about 1,500 military officers deployed to reinforce the police, as authorities urged city residents to stay indoors for the time being. The attack comes ahead of a global climate change conference due to open later this month. Sylvie Chebet, Citizen Weekend.